Hello and welcome back to our playthrough of Gloomhaven 2nd Edition. I'm Emerging Boat, and today we're going to be doing, I think, Scenario 28, Temple of the Seer. To start, let's have everybody return to Gloomhaven. We're going to do a city event. Draw city event C05.
Hey, looking for some cash?
A smarmy-looking vermling with a mug of ale slides into your booth at the Sleeping Lion. His hair is unnaturally slicked back with a transparent oil, pulling his eyebrows a bit too high.
You've been, pre-approved. Just got word this afternoon. Came here straight away to let you know. You've been looking at some shiny new toys in the shops, no? Some cash could make a big difference in your survivability out there.
Wary, you ask what the catch is.
No catch. It's just a loan. You get 50 today, you pay back a little interest here and there, you barely even notice you'll have so much lying around.
You inquire about the interest rate and just who is offering this loan. The vermling clicks his tongue.
It's a lot of math. Beads on the abacus. I would focus on the today. You might not even be around tomorrow. Maybe you die, maybe you retire. A lot of maybes, I think. Don't worry your head about it.
Option A, accept the money. Option B, refuse the loan.
Okay. Let's see. I would not normally do this one. Do I want to do it just for the video? I don't know what happens if we accept the money. All right, let me think about it. Let's see, if we accept the money, we're going to basically be splitting it 4 ways. And I mean, it's probably not bad if you end up being able to retire all your characters pretty soon. But Clarissa maybe could be retiring somewhat soon, but the rest of them are going to be around for a little while. Nah, I'm not going to do it because I already planned out what I was going to buy with the money that I have for this little venture back into Gloomhaven. So I'm not going to take even more time to rethink about everything. So I'm gonna refuse the loan. It takes some repetition, but you finally make clear you're not going to take this mysterious anonymous loan. When he hears the finality in your voice, he shrugs, dropping the smarmy smile. He throws a few coins on the table for his drink and leaves the Sleeping Lion without another word. No effect. Okay. Let's just look at what would have happened. Bone Cruncher? Gain 50 collective gold. Each character gains indebted. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I'm glad I didn't take the loan. I mean, the city event deck does have a lot of events in it, so like there's a good chance that you could do this, get 50 collective gold, and by the time it actually comes around for that event, nothing really matters, but I'm playing it safe. Maybe it's boring for the video. Now we can start doing our, what are they called? Downtime things, that's what they are. Clarissa leveled up, she's now level 4, so we're going to look at her card choices. At level 4, she gets the option between Flurry of Blades on the left here, which is a top action of attack 2, target 3 at range 3, gain an experience. Bottom action is a move 7, enhanceable move 7, and the initiative is 16. And then Gruesome Advantage has top action of attack 4, add +2 attack and gain 1 experience if the target is adjacent to any of your allies or is adjacent to none of its allies. Bottom action of move for 3, and then when you perform a melee attack targeting an enemy that has, when you next perform a melee attack targeting an enemy that has poison this round, after the attack ability, perform attack 2, range 3 poison. I really like both these cards. When I was initially looking at these level 4 cards as I was starting to do some level ups, I thought that I'd be taking Flurry of Blades because doing that attack 2, target 3, and potentially enhance it, like I was actually planning on enhancing that to be an attack 2, target 4 at range 3. And then if you combine that with something like a power potion and then maybe the bottom of, what's it called? What's the other level 3 card that we have? That gets you attack 2, target 2, Anyway, there is a potential for a very high ceiling of damage across a lot of enemies with this card. And it just has a lot of flexibility. I mean, 16 is a whatever initiative, I think, for the Silent Knife. But then a move 7 at the bottom, which you can enhance. Like, you could, I guess, make it a move 8, but probably you want to make it like a move 7 jump, or maybe you can even throw an element on there if you are, depending on what's in your party. It's just a great card, but I think I'm going to end up taking Gruesome Advantage here because Gruesome Advantage is also a great card. You have, like, the top of Gruesome Advantage is really nice because it gives you that flexibility of you're not stuck in this. I have to find an enemy, like specifically an enemy that is alone, or specifically an enemy that's adjacent to one of your allies. Like, you have the flexibility on this card to do either of those when your turn comes up. You don't have to figure that out before you're doing the card choice. And it's an extra attack. Plus that bottom could be very interesting. I do also think with my current hand for Silent Knife that I'm finding I could use more like later initiative cards. I already have a lot of really good early initiative cards. So I am going to take Gruesome Advantage here, but I think both options for this are incredibly useful. I also decided that I wanted to focus more on single target damage for Silent Knife and just melting down single target enemies. So Gruesome Advantage helps me do that more than Flurry of Blades does. The other thing we get to do with Clarissa is we get a lot of perks to pick here. We have, I can delete this line. We have 3 perks. Some ones that look interesting to me are these ones that allow you to have like the rolling invisibility modifiers. I mean, that is fantastic. That can, especially if you're going with the more of the ranged build where you're doing a lot of those multi-targeted attacks, you are going to be getting this fairly consistently, I would say. Especially if you can get strengthen, some kind of advantage with, and with somebody like Satha in our party, we can do that somewhat consistently. And while I am still keeping some of my ranged attack cards, like I said, I'm still going to try to focus more on the melee build, which is going to be drawing fewer modifiers, so I won't get as much consistency out of these. I'm not even showing my cursor. Let me turn that back on. There we go. I'll at least have it on for now. So I don't know that I'm going to take those. And truly, like, all of these look great. I would love to take every single one of these perks. But I think the one that I'm going to take now, because I can get this in like one fell swoop, I'm going to take this one. Once each scenario, during your turn, you may perform invisible, like just give yourself invisibility. The reason I'm going to take that is because that I can specify the timing of when I want to do that. You know, there's a very good likelihood that even with the build that I'm going with, I would get invisibility more often during a scenario with this perk, adding the invisibility self in the perk modifier deck or attack modifier deck. But I don't know when that invisibility would be coming up. Even if I was going to be drawing a lot of attack modifiers, it's not guaranteed that I'd be drawing it at specific times. Whereas this one allows me to be like, I need to get into the back lines of this room in this scenario, and I need to make sure I'm not going to just get ambushed with this. So I'm going to take this one that allows me to get that consistency and can help me with my planning. Then I think I'm going to take one of these perks that allows me to replace a +0 card. So that way, like, our attack modifier deck is already very consistent in terms of not having many negative modifiers or any negative modifiers at all, I think, except for the null. But now we can start getting to a point where we just have everything as a positive modifier, and that'd be a pretty nice thing to have. Looking at other things for Clarissa, she has completed 4 of her 5 scenario locations for her personal quest. She is not going to be joining us on this scenario. So we're going to mark her as absent, and we're not going to donate to the sanctuary with her. Oh, yeah, there we go. Also, I think I can select her card here. Yeah, we picked Gruesome Advantage. For Raphael, we don't have a level up, but yeah, we're so close to leveling up with Raphael, Dwayne, and Satha. So we're going to take all 3 of them on our next scenario and just get them their level up. I am, let's see, for my perk though, I do have a perk to get. I'm just going to close out this this one that replace a +0 card with a 1+2 card. I will take that. I am really interested in trying to get some of these invisibility self, like the rolling modifier cards. However, the one downside of, like, I'm starting to take some cards that are controlling monsters to do attacks. And if I'm spending some of my attacks and I get, like, I can choose not to apply invisibility to a monster if I draw one of these invisibility cards with that monster. But this perk just becomes less effective with that, because even if I don't apply invisibility to the monster, I'm doing fewer attacks, I'm getting less chance of getting invisibility with myself. So it's something to keep in mind. I mean, it can still be a good perk, but I think it just lowers the priority of it for me. On the other hand, if you have a summoning build, this perk probably becomes maybe a little bit higher priority, because this allows you to potentially get invisibility on your summon. Not very high likelihood, but just gives you ability to keep that summon alive a little bit longer. And maybe you should start going for this other mastery. I need to keep that in mind for this next scenario, but I don't want to force it. It's also just annoying to track. I will donate to the Sanctuary of the Great Oak. Oh wow, that's the first time he's donated. Well, good for you, Mindthief. And the last thing I'm going to do with him is I'm going to be enhancing, or I already enhanced it, but I need to subtract the money. I'm enhancing the bottom of Submissive Affliction to get a +1 movement. I'm kind of doing this specifically for this upcoming scenario, but because I want to give Magma Waders another chance, and I think this card could be a good way to try to bring life to that. This is a pretty cheap enhancement, and since we're trying to get 5 enhancements total with Mindthief, we could use some cheap enhancements. But doing this will allow us to, like, doubling the movement from this from 1 to 2 is great, because if we're trying to get into traps or hazardous terrain, then that extra +1 can be super helpful. So this is a great card to keep around for those high shield enemies like we may be facing in scenario 28. And it does pair well with the Magma Wader. So I'm trying to give the Magma Waders a second chance, because I do want to get good use out of that item. Once again, I'm excuse me, I'm doing temporary enhancements, so that will cost me 24 gold. So that's half of our total gold there. So we're now down to 24. And that should be everything that we want to do with the Mindthief. Is there anything we wanted to do with Dwayne? He does have a perk to get. Honestly, these are all nice. None of them are jumping out to me as like must-haves right now. The ones I'm really deciding between are like the replace +0 card with 1+1, create 1 obstacle tile and an empty hex adjacent to the target. That could be good, although I'm not concerned. Like, I feel like I get enough obstacle generation, especially I did make 1 card change in my hand, so it is nice that this is a rolling modifier too, so this is kind of more effectively thinning your deck and making it more likely to draw other cards. Replace a +0 card with 2 +1 cards. I do like this because now we're just kind of getting rid of some of the neutral cards, making it more likely that we're going to have positive modifiers. And push 1, like push, is just very nice. The one that's really standing out to me though is the add 1+2 immobilize card. It's with each one of these that we take, it's going to make it less likely that we draw other ones. Because we're not thinning out the deck at all, we're just adding more of these in. So I wish we were removing some cards at the same time. But I think I'm going to lean into this because of how much ranged damage I'm doing. It's, you know, again, it's not super likely that I'm going to be drawing this all that often. But if I do hit it, it could be not only a bunch of extra damage, but it could be mitigating damage that would be done by some melee attacking enemy that needs to move. I'm going to hold on to my gold with Dwayne because I have plans to try to enhance Mud Eruption, maybe with a wound. I think that could be really high potential. So I'm not gonna spend any of his gold right now. So that's it for Dwayne. Then we'll jump to Satha, who, oh wow, does not have any perks to choose from right now. Okay. I'll donate with her though. Why not? Oh, and I need to bring Dwayne's maximum health down by 1. And I'm gonna do it. I've been talking about it for a while. I'm finally gonna do it. Actually, I wonder what's our level calculation. Okay, so solo isn't making a difference here. I'm gonna bump up to +2. I'm not saying I'm gonna stay at this difficulty, but I think we can bump it up at least for this one. Let's give it a shot. And with that, I think we're finally ready to jump into our scenario. So we're going to be going to scenario 28, Temple of the Seer. Jump over to a map here that is down in the southwest in the Watcher Mountains. Right down there. Let me pull up our... we need to do our road event first. Tackle that. Scenario 28. Road event number 20.
Headed in the opposite direction, back towards Gloomhaven, are a pair of guards escorting 4 men clasped in manacles. As you pass them, one of the prisoners forces the gag out of his mouth, shouting at you for assistance.
Help us! Please! We're political prisoners!
One of the guards gives him a swift jab in the stomach and replaces the gag.
Sure, political prisoners. More like these 4 treasonous scum. We're taking them back to the Ghost Fortress for processing.
The guard yanks the chain gang forward, snarling at the one who spoke up.
Enjoy the rest of your walk. It's the last gulps of fresh air you'll have before they seal you away for good.
The guards give a laugh, turning to you for your reaction. That's all it takes for the 4 men to make a run for it, stumbling up the embankment towards the cover of trees. It takes a moment before the guards realize what's happening, and even then, all they manage is an impotent cry of,
Stop them!
Option A. Assist the guards in recapturing their charges. Option B. Let the prisoners escape.
Ooh, all right, what do we want to do here? Assist the guards in recapturing their charges or let the prisoners escape? I mean, I'm not getting paid for it. Let's just let them go. You're not giving me any money. Why should I help? Let's do let the prisoners escape. Ooh, all right, we're losing a city guard reputation. In a flash, the prisoners rush past you and into the cover of the trees. It's perfectly plausible that you just didn't react quickly enough, but that doesn't save you from the admonishment of the guards. Lose 1 military reputation. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. I will mark it option B as resolved there. Done. Let me set this up.
You've only had his magical orb for a little while, but its power has already proven wondrous. Hale had started to get worried about a bunch of mercenaries walking around Gloomhaven with an artifact of unknown power. So she sent you on an errand to find more information about the orb. Surprisingly, your best lead comes from a novice at the Temple of the Great Oak. They're obsessed with the ancient texts kept in the temple's basement, and one particularly weathered scroll speaks of a temple high in the Watcher Mountains, where a great seer resides who can answer any question. You can't imagine any seer would be alive after so much time, but you decide to check it out nonetheless. The hike is anything but easy. You nearly fall to your deaths as you scale the cliff to the temple. Finally, you reach the mountain's shoulder, where a huge triangular door stands, shut tightly against the mountainside. A deep voice rumbles from within.
Oh, visitors? Well, how genuinely lovely. It has been so very long since anyone has come seeking wisdom. Years? Centuries? I can't quite remember. I was here before the ancients, you know, before the mountains.
The voice continues, shaking the ground beneath your feet.
I have seen everything since the dawn of life on this continent, and anything you could wish to ask, I could answer. There is a trial, though.
The seer says sadly as the door yawns open.
Has to be a trial, just the way it is. Do come in and try not to die.
You step forward, and no sooner have you crossed the threshold than a group of massive stone constructs materialize before you.
I really do hope you survive.
The seer's voice booms.
Scenario goals. The scenario is complete when all enemies in it are dead. At the end of the round, read section 67.3. And when door 1 is open, read 22.2, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Here's our scenario setup. We've got a few high shield enemies in those stone constructs. Let's select our battle goals and then we'll jump over to loadouts. Raphael gets to choose between Mugger, kill an enemy, and loot the token it drops in the same round. Okay. Assistant, kill an enemy attacked by any of your allies earlier in the same round. Also pretty doable. Rambler, end no more than 3 of your turns in the hex in which you started the turn, except when long resting. All these are, I would say, roughly about the same in terms of trying to complete them. I'm going to take Mugger just because it's pretty easy to track and it encourages me to loot. I love looting. Then we're going to go select something for Dwayne. Dwayne chooses between Hunter, kill 1 or more elite enemies, or 2 or more for 4 characters. That's just 1 or more here. Overachiever, kill an enemy and open a door in the same turn in either order, and that's 2 check marks. And then Plebeian, never kill an elite enemy, named enemy, or boss. Just out of curiosity, how many... Where is he at with his perks? Okay, he's starting a fresh row, so no matter what we pick here, it's not going to get us a new perk. Overachiever may be possible. I'm going to go for Hunter because it encourages me to try to kill an elite enemy as opposed to Plebeian, which is pretty restrictive in that I can't kill an elite enemy. Then for Satha, what do we want to pick? Daredevil, add 2 cards to your lost pile before your first rest. I mean, this is a small scenario in terms of room, so maybe. Dawdler, never use your lowest initiative played card as your initiative card. I hate that. And Bully, kill an enemy that has 2 or more negative conditions. Like, I don't necessarily hate Daredevil, but the problem is that with this scenario, with these 3 stone constructs in here, I don't think I have lost cards that I feel like are going to give me such an advantage in this first room that I think it warrants like losing them super early on. So I don't want to take that for Satha. Dawdler, never use your lowest initiative. I just hate that one so much. I can't take that one. That would really screw me. I'm going to take Bully. I may not even get this one, but it's definitely the easiest to try to get out of all of them. Like Mindthief can get a decent amount of negative conditions out. So we'll take that, but Satha may not be getting any of these, this scenario. Get their battle goals out physically. Mugger, Hunter, and Bully. Then we'll do our Mercenary loadouts. These stone constructs have a base movement of 2, and they're super high shield. They have a lot of health, and from what I remember, they hit like a truck. I think they also have relatively slow initiatives. So I am going to try to go late with everybody here. My hope is that just during this first round, they're not going to have enough movement to be able to get all the way up to us. Cragheart's going to start. It's going to use the bottom of a Crushing Grasp to get a little obstacle out next to him so that he can prepare potentially for doing his, not Earthen Clod, Clear the Way next round, which would be some attack with some Pierce on it. And then we're going to get the top of backup ammunition out, just because none of the other ranged attacks I have are really worth doing yet. But if we get backup ammunition out now, then it'll set us up nicely for a couple of good massive boulders later on, which do have that direct splash damage. Next we'll go with Raphael, who I I think I needed Satha to go before him. All right, minor change. For Raphael, we'll still let him go before Satha. We just need Raphael to not use his... Basically, we want to set up Raphael with Satha... actually, shoot. No, this is fine. Raphael will move up, use the magma waders to get a hazardous terrain tile out somewhere. And then when Satha goes, Satha is going to get Raphael off of that hazardous terrain, so that way next round Raphael can focus on just trying to move probably that elite stone construct on and off that hazardous terrain a couple of times. Raphael's also just going to get out Withering Claw to get poison and muddle on these. Yeah, I think muddle will be very helpful here with how hard these enemies can hit. All right, well, let's get into it and draw. Stone constructs are going first, and they're not moving. They're doing big attack at range 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, only Stone Construct 2 is within range. So Stone Construct 2 is going to do an attack 5 on Dwayne. It's going to be +0, so it's going to be 5 damage to Dwayne. Damn, that's so much. Attack 7 is crazy. If the attack ability is performed, Stone Construct suffers 1 damage. Cool. That ends the Stone Construct's turn and brings up Dwayne's turn. Dwayne's going to do the bottom of Crushing Grasp, create 1 hex obstacle in an adjacent empty hex. We're going to put that obstacle, let's go there. And then infuse Earth. Okay. And we'll do the top of backup ammunition, and that will go into our, what's it called, persistent ability slot. And that will end Dwayne's turn. For Raphael, we are going to use the bottom of Pilfer to move 5 with Magma Waders and do 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'm going to end my movement here. We will put a hazardous terrain tile down there. Let's do the top of Withering Claw on... I'm going to do it on the Elite and just see if we can burn down this Elite more quickly. So we're going to do an attack 2, poison, muddle. Immobilize doesn't matter for this. +0, so it's just going to be no damage, but poisoned and muddled on that Stone Construct. And Raphael gets an experience. That'll end Raphael's turn. Then with Satha, we'll do the bottom of Implicable Advance and go 1, 2, 3. Then we'll do the top of Outmaneuver and do, this will be an attack 4 on that Stone Golem, the Elite. +1, that's 5. It's going to be 2 damage. And then we're going to infuse Ice, and we will allow Raphael to move. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Let's just put him back there. Then that will end Satha's turn. And that will end the round. Round 2, I'm going to continue under the assumption that the Stone Constructs are going to be moving at a pretty slow initiative. So with Raphael, we're going to do a bunch of forced movement on this Elite here, so we can have him move through that hazardous terrain a couple of times. Then I will use, deal some direct damage to him. Ultimately, we should be doing like 8 direct damage to that Elite, which is pretty great considering it's shielding 3 and we're just bypassing that. Then Cragheart is going to go next so that he can move over here, get ready to infuse an Earth for later in the round, but then we're going to consume the current Earth element so that we can do the top of Crater on both this Elite construct and this regular construct. By the time Raphael's turn is done, I expect the Elite construct to be here, and I can just push both of these enemies this way. I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, that ultimately maybe no, I mean, the Elite's not going to be dead, so I'll have to think about how I want to position those after the push, so I haven't really thought that far in advance. But I want to at least get a couple of them grouped up over here. I don't know if I'll be able to get all 3 of them grouped up, such that I can use the top of Spare Their Spirits with Satha to allow Dwayne to play the top of Clear the Way. I was like, did I use that card already? No, I did not. And that would allow us to get a nice little group attack with a Pierce 1 on there. So feels like a great plan, but at the same time, I'm really gambling on the initiative right now. And draw. Okay, we have Raphael. Okay. Yes, they are going super slow. So if we take a look at these, 83 and 72. Okay, I'm sure they have some that are relatively fast, but there's probably nothing that's like less than, I don't know, 40, maybe. Okay, so our plan should work. Raphael will start. We're going to do the bottom of Submissive Affliction, and we are going to use the Ice Element on this one. Gain experience for doing this. And we're going to have this elite go 1, 2. So that's going to be 5 damage total. Then I'll do the top of Brain Leech and have this enemy go 1, 2. I don't think it really matters if I move him out, but oh, actually, no, wait. Oh, better idea. We leave him there, and then the push from Cragheart will be even better and lead to a better turn from Satha. Ooh, this is looking good. It'll be 3 more damage to this. I'm sorry. Yeah, 3 more damage to Stone Construct. And then it will do an attack 2 on Stone Construct 2. +2! Fuck yeah! That's 4 damage, shield 2, so just 2 damage to this construct. And that's going to end Raphael's turn, and that was a great turn. I'm like waiting to see what thing I planned wrong, but for Dwayne, we're going to start with the bottom of Rumbling Advance, and we're going to do a move 2, go there, and that will infuse Earth at the end of our turn. No allies or enemies are adjacent to us, so that's fine. But we are now going to use the top of Crater. We're going to consume the Earth for that. So I'm going to infuse that other Earth now. I'm going to get an experience for this. And then we're going to be using the top of Backup Ammunition too. It's a single target ranged attack ability. Oh no, I know why I wanted to put this construct here originally, so I could push it back through that hazardous terrain. Yeah, okay. No, my original plan is the better one. So we will let's do this first attack on the Elite. It's going to be an attack 4, push 2. No strength or anything. Okay. Yeah, attack 4, push 2, +0. So that's just going to be 1 damage from the attack. And then we will push them 1, 2. That's going to be another 3 direct damage from that hazardous terrain. And now I'm really liking those Magma Waders. Didn't use them well in the last scenario. This is a pretty great use of them. Okay. So now we're going to do our second attack on the normal. This will just be an attack 3. Let's do a modifier, another +0. So that will just be 1 damage to you. Then push you 2, 1, 2. Go there. And you're going to suffer 3 direct damage. And that will end Dwayne's turn. Now for Satha's turn, we're going to take command out. We're going to activate that, get an experience. Then am I in range? I did not think about range. Oh, thank God I'm in range. I was like, shoot, is that range 2? Okay, good. The healing doesn't do anything for us. We will get the ward from Spare Their Spirits. And then we will allow Dwayne to perform a card from his hand. This is going to give me an experience as well. And we will be playing Clear the Way. We will be consuming that Earth element that we generated earlier in the round. It's going to give Dwayne an experience. And ultimately, we're going to be doing an attack 4, Pierce 1 on... Am I in range to throw this? 1, 2, 3, 4. I am. This doesn't do anything to allies, correct? No, yeah, we're good. Arguably, it may have been better to try to get the Elite into this spot instead of the normal number 2, but I wanted to do this because I don't think I'm going to be... Actually, I could kill normal number 2. But if we don't, then the Elite is not going to be able to get into a range to attack. All right, well, let's get Dwayne's cards out here. We're going to be doing an attack for, let's do it on the Stone Construct, number 2. 4 Pierce 1, that's 5 Pierce 1. Okay, that is just not quite enough. That's fine, that's fine. Then we are going to do an attack 4 Pierce 1 on the other normal. +2 and immobilize. Does he immobilize? It does matter. Hell yeah. So what? That is 5 damage and immobilize. My brain ain't gonna be mathing so well tonight. Oh shoot, that's right. They can't be immobilized. Dang it. Oh well. All right. Well, Satha is braced for damage. That is going to end Satha's turn. The elite will go first. Do a move 2. 1, 2. Cannot reach anybody. Let me fix the facing direction a little bit. Then number 2 is going to go and do an attack 4 on Satha. +1, that's 5. We are warded, so that's going to bring it down to 2 damage. Then number 4 will move up here, hiding Satha from our camera, and do an attack 4 as well. -1, that's 3 damage. Okay. Cool. Not terrible. Next round. Satha's just hidden from like every camera angle, isn't she? Let's make her a little bit more visible there. This is going very well so far. My focus for this round is going to be killing both the elite stone construct and the normal number 2. I'm also going to be getting a little bit of damage and muddle and poison off on stone construct 4. Ideally, it might be better for me to go 3rd with Raphael. Like I would like to get. I'm trying to have Dwayne be the one to kill that elite so he can complete his battle goal. It'd be nice if I put Raphael going last, just in case he's not able to do that. But I'm going to keep the order as is, because I think I'll also have Raphael eat the attack from construct number 4 because he hasn't taken any damage and will probably be long resting pretty soon. Go here and a draw. All right, once again, they're going super late. I mean, surely they have some better initiative cards, right? It's going to get shuffled again after this. But big attacks, so could do some damage to Raphael. We will start with Satha, and we're going to do the bottom of Bring Them Down and go 1, just move 1 there. And then we're going to have that 1 card being able to give +1 attack for when Dwayne makes his attack. Sorry, I was just rereading it to make sure it wasn't adjacent allies or adjacent. Sorry, melee attack. Oh my gosh, I can't talk today. I'm so sorry. Oh wait, no. Before I do this movement, I need to do the top of Combined Might, because that's how it's going to kill normal number 2. So we're going to do an attack 3, pierce 2, draw a +2. So that's a lot of wasted damage, but, you know, better to have wasted damage than to not have damaged at all. Yeah, it's poetic, I think. All right, now we will move over here, and now we've just given... Oh, shoot, I messed up. I needed Dwayne to go next because I was banking on him getting access to that pierce. So I'm going to retcon a little bit. I'm sorry. I know this is going super well, so I feel really bad about retconning here, but I just overthought something. I need Raphael to have gone at 75 instead. Definitely cheating a little bit because I see that the stone constructs are still going late enough that it's not going to affect anything. But I wasn't really planning on doing a whole lot with Raphael anyway. I wanted to eat the attack, but that wasn't really going to be a big priority. Getting the muddle off would be nice. Anyway, forgive me. I'm going to do that because I want to make sure we kill this elite with Dwayne. But this stone construct is dead. And put our first money token of the scenario down. Let's get a little bit better of an angle on this camera here. Yeah, it's a little better. Move in a little bit. Yeah. Anyway, okay, that ends Satha's turn. And next up is Dwayne because I'm a dirty little cheater. And this is bad news. Actually, for Satha's turn, I should probably... I'm going to have her have used the healing potion because she's going to have to be taking this attack coming up. We'll do that. And then we're going to do the top of Massive Boulder with Dwayne. That is going to trigger another charge of backup ammunition, even though I don't... Oh, I should probably move first, shouldn't I? Yeah. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4 right onto this newly dropped money token. That works out. Take that. Give that money to Dwayne because Clarissa's not here to take it all. Now we get an experience from doing the top, or doing the backup ammunition. We're going to do the top of Massive Boulder. And we're going to target the elite first. So it's going to be an attack 3, pierce 2 from Satha's card that I discarded. But now suddenly it's there. So attack 3, pierce 2, +1. That's 4. 5 from the poison, pierce 2. So that's 4 damage total. Very good. Very, very good. I'll kill that. Stone Construct. Put that there. Satha's going to take a damage, but we did complete our battle goal. Move 1 health from Satha, and that will end Dwayne's turn. Lastly, we have Raphael, who... Where do I want him to go? Oh yeah, I guess Satha's not going to be taking the attack after all, but whatever. I already used the health potion. We're going to do the top of Scurry. Go 1, go here, 2, 3. And we'll do an attack 2 poison muddle on this stone construct. +0, I can have it move 1. And I actually totally forgot that I should have bring them down out as well. You can't see that, can you? There we go. So this could work out. So that is going to be no damage initially. You get poison and muddle off on this construct. And then we can allow it to move 1, putting it adjacent to Satha. Do I want that? Yeah, sure, why not? So this is going to end up, for the bottom of the mind's weakness, it's going to end up being an attack 3 after poison. So attack 3 wound. +0, so that'll just be 1 damage, and then we also get wound on you. And then that will end Raphael's turn. And now the stone construct goes, loses health, and it's going to do an attack 5 at disadvantage on Satha, +1, or +1. Dang, 6 damage to Satha. That hurts. Okay, Dwayne's going to need to start doing some healing. But that ends the stone construct's turn and ends the round. And we can actually discard both of these now. For round 4, we're obviously just going to kill this last stone construct. I don't want to kill the construct with Raphael. I think I want to kill it with, what's her name, Satha. I think it's harder to get Bully, her battle goal, kill an enemy that has 2 or more negative conditions, than it is to get Mugger, which is kill an enemy and loot the loot token it drops in the same round. That one for Raphael is pretty easy, so let's try to focus on getting Satha her battle goal while we have the opportunity here. So Raphael's going to go do an attack 3, which will be an attack 4 after poison, hopefully do some damage, and then that way we can get a couple of attacks with Satha and hopefully finish it off. Then lastly, Dwayne's going to just do some healing on, mainly on Satha, a little bit on himself. All right, and a draw. Ooh, okay. Stone constructs have an early initiative as early as 28. Move 3, attack 4. That's quick, and it's still a big attack. All right. Well, Raphael starts. We're going to do the top of Frigid Apparition, do an attack 3, which is 4 after poison. Of course. Well, at least we're still completing a battle goal with this. That is going to kill that stone construct. And then it's going to drop a money token there. And I mean, well, now we have to move on to it. Legally obligated to move on to that. And that will give Raphael battle goal completion and a, oh, not for Satha. Not for you, Satha. For you, Raphael. And that'll end Raphael's turn. For Satha's turn, I mean, the one healing would be nice, but I'm going to prioritize the money token. Because are they worth 4 gold each now? They are, yeah. So I'm going to get that money token. I can work around not having that 1 extra health. Then I don't do anything with the top of Wolfpack Tactics, and that will end Satha's turn. Oops, I forgot to kill off this stone construct. Let me make sure Raphael gets all of the credit. 8 minus 2 would have been 6 damage. Okay, so then it should be Dwayne's turn now. Dwayne will do heal 2 on himself, heal 2 on Satha, and then do another heal 1 on Satha. And we infuse Earth. I don't think it's going to do anything for us, but we'll do it anyway. And that ends Dwayne's turn, and if I would click the right thing, now we can end the round. Ooh, all right. I'm going to retcon something that I keep forgetting about. I keep forgetting that we have this heater shield, which I should have used during one of the attacks against Satha. So I'm going to say I used that and got a health back because I just neglected that. I totally accept the fact that if you want to put an asterisk next to this win because of the little cheats that I've done so far, I understand. I'm also really assuming I'm going to win this. I remember that this next room has a lot of stuff in it. I remember when I first did this scenario in Gloomhaven 2nd Edition, I think I was really surprised at how many enemies were in there, and I was not expecting it. But it's only the second room of 2 rooms, so there should be a lot of enemies in there. Anyway, I digress. We are, of course, going to just be long resting with everybody this round. Everybody has another turn they could play right now. Everybody has 2 cards in hand, but this is like the perfect opportunity to long rest. So let's do that. Draw. Raphael's up first. He's already at full health. I am going to discard Withering Claw before I pick which card to lose. Let me just get back everybody's items. I'm not going to discard Take Command. I'm just going to run through everybody really quickly. Get their healing, and then I will decide which cards I'm going to lose. I have decided. For Raphael, I'm going to lose Pilfer. For Dwayne, I'm going to lose Earthen Bulwark. And for Satha, I'm going to lose Victory Rush. And that will end round 5. It'd be nice if just that was the end of the scenario. For this round, we're going to have Satha go first. And we're going to do the bottom of Lead the Charge so that she can move a little bit closer to the door. But more importantly, I want her to move Raphael into the doorway. And I'm going to experiment with trying to use, you may not be able to see it. I might use magma waders to drop a hazardous terrain right in that doorway, because I think that's still considered featureless. So that could be a big mistake, putting a hazardous terrain in the spot that we're going to have to get through. But at the same time, maybe it's a good choke point. And we can decide, I don't know, I think we can kind of decide once we open the room to see what enemies are in there. But I know there are some flying enemies in this scenario that won't be affected by that terrain, so we will, I don't know, I'll play it by ear or eyes. I don't think I'm going to hear anything with this. Then we will go with Raphael on his turn. Probably end up using the top of Brain Leech to try to get a wound off on an enemy. Something that's like a high shield enemy. So that way we can try to just slowly kill that enemy over time. And then the bottom of Scurry is probably going to be used for just a basic move too. Although I'm a little flexible in how I use those. Then lastly, Dwayne's going to do, I'm not doing a whole lot with him this round. I'm going to heal late as I'm just kind of waiting to see with him what's going to be in that room. And draw. All right, Satha's up first. And of course, we will start with the bottom of Lead the Charge. Go 1, 2, I guess I should just sit there. And we will grant one ally within range 3 a move 2, which becomes move 3 because of take command. And then, I mean, I guess at this point I need to decide if I want to use magma waiters. Yeah, you know what? I'll use it because we could always choose to not put the hazardous terrain in the doorway. We could always go one space further in. So I'm going to commit to it. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, creak. Yeah, I'm still open for Foley work. I can do sound effects. I know you thought that was an actual door squeaking. That was actually just my voice. I know, it's surprising, but doors don't actually say creak when they creak. I just learned that out. Learned that out? What the fuck am I saying? All right, let me figure out what's in this door. Give me 1 second.
You open the door to the inner chamber, and more enemies materialize before your eyes. Flying lizards, wailing spirits, and great terrifying bears that don't seem at all happy to have been suddenly transported here.
Oh, friendly bears just stopping by to say hi. Honestly, this room doesn't seem all that terrible if we just let things come to us. I haven't really looked at what the enemies are going to be doing. Let me give you the zoomed out view while we're looking over what the enemies are actually going to do. Living spirits are going to be doing move and curse. Okay, well, we're definitely at risk of taking a decent amount of curses. It is nice that they're infusing ice because I will be generating it this round, but then also consuming it. Then we have the cave bears. They're going to be doing a decently big move and then attacking. Okay, that regular cave bear can get into the doorway and do an attack. The elite cannot reach though, and they both wound. All right, good to know. The spitting drake. I honestly always get the drakes confused. I never remember if the spitting drake or the rending drake is the flying drake. Spitting drake is flying. Oof, that attack's gonna hurt because that elite 4 can get up to us. I think can get. Well, Raphael should be out of the way at that point. Dang, all right, that's gonna hurt a little bit. Then Dwayne, yeah, well, I know what Dwayne's doing. He's just healing. Okay. So yeah, I think I'll still end Raphael's movement here. So we will put a hazardous terrain tile down there. And we'll also go back to this view. And that will end lead the charge. And then for the top of bring them down, a bit of a waste of this card. I probably should have chosen better. I thought I would be able to get an attack off with this, but not in range. So no attack, but we will still strengthen one ally within range 3. The strengthen is not going to matter. But I guess I'll give it to Raphael. Was there any chance I want to use the different actions for Dwayne? No, probably not. Then we also infuse ice, and that will end Satha's turn. For Raphael, we're going to do the top of Brain Leech. We're going to consume that ice element. We're going to gain an experience. And let's command this living spirit to move 1, 2, and then do an attack 2 wound on Elite Living Spirit 4. No, that's okay. I did not care about the damage. We just care about getting that wound off on Living Spirit 4. And then we're going to use the bottom of Scurry, and I'm going to go back 2 spaces as a default or basic move 2. And that will end Raphael's turn. Next up are the Elite Living Spirits, or really all the Living Spirits. They're going to go 1, 2, 3. What's their range? Just 2, right? Yeah. 4. Oh, and it's targeting 3 enemies. Actually, this could end up being maybe beneficial because it could block the path from the bear. Okay, so this one is just going to get a curse off on Satha and Dwayne. So, curse and curse. Then number 5 will go, move 1, 2, 3. And that will be a curse on everybody. 1, 2, 3. I forget, is there 8 curses total? There's like a limit on the total number of curses in the deck. All right, then normal 1 can move how many spaces? 3. 1, 2, 3. Can't reach anybody. Then you go 1, 2, 3. Also cannot reach anybody. We infuse ice. That ends the living spirit's turn. Then the cave bears will go. The elite will go first and move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the regular will go, the normal will go 1. Will it move up one more space here? It's crowded. Oh, no, actually, I don't think it would move up this extra space. It has no reason to. So it's not going to use that extra movement. It'll just stay there. Bears are done. Now the Drake's turns. We're going to do 1, 2, 3 movement. 1, 2, 3. And then that's a big area at range 3. Shoot. Yeah, I think the Spitting Drake can actually still reach Satha with that area of effect. Dang, I thought I was only going to take it from 1. But I think Satha's the only one that Spitting Drake 1 can hit. So it's going to be an attack 3, poison muddle, +0. So 3 poison and muddle to Satha. Big oof. Wish I hadn't moved her all the way up. But hey, I couldn't have known. Then this one's going to be a bigger attack. 1, 2, 3. Actually, I think it would just go here. Because then it can still reach its max targets of Satha and Dwayne. All right. Let's do Dwayne first. It's going to be attack 3, muddle, poison, +2. Okay, well, at least I'm glad that wasn't on Satha. It's going to be 5 damage, muddle, and poison. That muddle is going to be a shame for him. And then this will be attack 4, muddle, poison on Satha because she's already poisoned. +1. Oh, brutal. She is down to 1 health. Oh, should I negate one of those with losing a card? Yeah, let's do it. All right. Also, on the first attack, she could have used her heater shield. So she would have... We're going to undo this loss. We're going to get 1 health back. And then I'm going to lose outmaneuver. I don't think it's going to be as important this scenario. Oh, actually, and the good news is at least this muddle really isn't going to affect Dwayne because he's not attacking this round. Okay, then lastly, the Spitting Drake will go 1, 2, what's your movement? They're all moving 3. Okay, there. But you cannot reach anybody. That'll end the Spitting Drake's turn and bring up Dwayne's turn. May end up having to move this camera backwards because I might be starting to move backwards with some folks here. Well, let's start with the top heal of Burrow. We're going to do heal on both Dwayne and Satha, which is just going to clear, not their muddle, just going to clear their poison. And we will infuse Earth. I regret using the bottom of Crushing Grasp because I wasn't thinking about that being an Earth infusion. And then at least for now, I'm going to stay here. I'm not going to move it all for Crushing Grasp, I don't think. That will end Dwayne's turn, and that will end the round. I feel like I have a decent plan for this round. I'm a little afraid for what the Spitting Drakes could do based off of what they just did this past round, but I think at a minimum we should be able to kill both elite living spirits, probably kill both regular living spirits too, immobilize that elite bear. But yeah, the Spitting Drakes are the things that are going to be the wild card. They suck. Drakes in general suck. They do so much damage. It's not like they also don't have an insignificant amount of health. I mean, 16, 16, and 9, that's still, I mean, the normal's not too bad, but the elites, that's crazy. For Raphael, we are going to do the bottom of Submissive Affliction to have this living spirit move backwards to here, and then it's going to suffer 2 direct damage. And then we're going to do Hostile Takeover top to hit that Elite Cave Bear to immobilize it. We're going to infuse ice. I'm hoping that the living spirits don't use that ice, so I can save it for next round because it would be nice to have. Then I'm going to go with Satha. She is going to do the top of Spur Their Spirits so that Dwayne, this is like, one of my favorite combos of doing, using Spur Their Spirits so that Dwayne can play Clear the Way. We're going to chuck an obstacle. I'm probably going to chuck the obstacle here, mostly so I can do damage to those. Oh, actually, I don't want to risk killing Living Spirit 6 too early. So I think I'm going to make a swap here. When Satha goes, she is going to have Dwayne play Massive Boulder, the card I just swapped out, because I need to hit regular Living Spirit 6 and regular Cave Bear, Elite Cave Bear 1 with each of the Massive Boulders so that we get 2 splash damage on each of these 2 Living Spirits. And that's how I can effectively guarantee that they're going to die, because Living Spirit 4 will be down to 1 health. It'll die with a wound. Living Spirit 5 will have already suffered 2 damage earlier from Mindthief. So I'm not being efficient with my use of element consumption, because with the other order I would have been ending the round with a leaf earth element still strong. In this case, I'm not going to have it for next round, but this I think gives me more promise of success. I think there's less variability in this plan. Yeah, then after Satha may move backwards, she may not. It just depends on what the enemies are going to be doing, but I did give her a big move just in case. Then Dwayne's going to go. Again, he's got a movement just in case he needs it, but mainly we're going to be using the top of Clear the Way to be getting an attack over here. Although actually it could. I may change that. I may not go there because this space will actually be opened up, so I could put the obstacle there. I'll figure that one out later, but I do think I still want to play Clear the Way. Although Earthen Clod top is really tempting, but I'm going to stick with what I got here. I'm tired of changing things around. Do I have all my initiatives correct? I think so. Excuse me. So let's go to this screen. Does that look good? Yeah, I'll move it back up if I end up not moving anybody backwards, but let's draw. Oh, Cave Bears are going real early. That shouldn't affect my plan. But we will take an attack from Cave Bear number 2. Then Living Spirits. Ew, those are some massive attacks, but they're going late. Hopefully they'll all be dead. And then Spitting Drakes are not moving anywhere. They're doing... Oh my god, I totally forgot they could stun. That's good to know. Okay, that makes that one perk from Satha a little bit more enticing. Anyway, at least for this round, they are not doing anything. So that's fucking awesome. I love that. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with how this round should go. Let's start with Raphael, and we're gonna do the bottom of Submissive Affliction first. We're gonna consume. Oh, is anybody consuming elements? Oh, they're potentially generating an ice. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna consume this ice. Raphael is gonna get another experience, and we're gonna have this elite move 2. I am so glad I enhanced that bottom of Submissive Affliction with an extra movement like that. For the hazardous terrain, it was great. For this, it's been great. Like going from 1 to 2, phenomenal. But number 5 is going to take 2 damage. And okay, and then we're going to move to the top of Hostile Takeover, which of course we're going to use on that elite Cave Bear who's about to just rampage down on us. Be an attack 2. Great, we double that to 4. And I'm not complaining, just, could be better. Once again, not the worst timed blesses, but not really ideal. All right, you are immobilized. And I love to say that I'm not going to complain and then I just keep complaining. That will end Raphael's turn. Then we move on to the cave bear's turn. Number 1 isn't going anywhere because it's immobilized. Number 2 has a move 3, correct? Yes. 1, 2. It's going to take 3 hazardous terrain damage. And then it's going to do an attack, 3, immobilize, and wound on Satha. Attack 3, immobilize, wound, +1. Oof. 4. Well, I guess Satha's not moving anywhere. Wound and immobilize. Satha's going to need some healing. Maybe I should have saved that health potion. I forgot that cave bears could wound. That's kind of bad on me because, of course, they can wound. Okay, that will end the cave bear's turn. Then Satha goes. She loses a health from the wound. Oh, right. I forgot I was going to get a healing from Spur Their Spirits. That is such a good heal right now. Oh, man, that's like just what this is meant for. We're going to gain 1 health. We are going to clear that wound. We are going to get an experience. And we're going to get ward. And we're going to allow Dwayne to play the top of Massive Boulder. His first target is going to be Living Spirit 6. And this is going to be an attack 4. I need the correct things. Attack 4 plus 0. So I think it's going to be 1 damage. Yeah, 1 damage to number 6. And then a splash damage to number 1. A splash damage to Elite 4. A splash damage to Elite 5. Nope. Nope, not that much. Okay. Oh, and then we're using a charge of backup ammunition. Then the second one will be targeting the Elite Cave Bear number 1. Once again, an attack 4. All right. That's okay. I wasn't doing this for the damage necessarily. It would have been nice if that was a curse and we got that out of the deck, but what we get is the splash damage, which is the important thing. 1 splash damage on Elite 5, 1 splash damage on Elite 4. That kills Elite 5. Elite 4 is going to die on their turn because of the wound. That's great news. We make Earth strong. And then we clear the top of Massive Boulder, go into Dwayne's discard. And then, yeah, we can't really do anything with the bottom of Implicable Advance, so that will end Satha's turn. Last up is Dwayne, who we might not actually be able to kill these living spirits. This will be tough. Yeah, because we would need +1s on these. Well, let's consume the earth element. We'll get an experience for doing that. And then we're going to chuck this barrel here into this space. Is there a better space? No, because I do still want to target living spirits 1 and 6. So we'll go there. And we're going to get an attack 3, pierce 1. Let's just start with the elite and then we'll work our way counterclockwise. So 3 pierce 1 on that elite. This attack I don't care about. Yeah, that's not going to do anything. All right, now this one I care about. This is going to be 3 pierce 1 on number 6. No, is that still 1 damage? No, that's no damage. Damn it. Okay. 3 pierce 1 on number 1. +1. All right, so we killed that living spirit. So one of them will still be left. Not bad, not bad. That goes there. And that was number 1 we killed, right? Yep, okay. Just 2 damage. And then I'm not going to move because I want to stay by Satha and make sure she doesn't get attacked. And that's going to end Dwayne's turn. I think I paused on the animation there, but the living spirits go, the elite dies, and I forgot they're going to be healing 1, so number 6 is going to be back at full health, unfortunately. But that goes there. Then, what's their move to? Ooh, yeah, this is going to be another attack on Satha. Attack 4 on Satha, heal 1. Oh, you got to be kidding me. I'm going to lose Blade of the North because I would love to have it for that loss at the bottom, but I can't afford to keep it for that. You stupid, stupid living spirit. Then it's going to heal 1. That will end living spirit's turn. Then the spitting drakes go. Those losers can't reach us. We're going to end their turn, and we're going to end the round. I'm a little late on this, but this scenario already kind of has an asterisk next to it anyway, because I've already kind of fudged a couple of things early on there. I'm going to have used Stamina Potion for Dwayne so that we could get not Clear the Way, but Mud Eruption back out of our discard pile. I want that card, please. For round 8 here, I'm going to go first with Raphael. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make good use of that ice for that stun for the bottom of Perverse Edge, but we're still going to use that movement from that card to be able to move up towards this regular, normal living bear, cave bear, and do the top of Mind's Weakness so that we can get a nice little attack off on it. And then we can have that bear do an attack off on Living Spirit 6 and get wound on it. That leaves Raphael in a pretty risky position for those spitting drakes to attack, but I'm going to take the risk. Then we're going to go with Satha, who is going to do an attack 2 on that cave bear and then command Dwayne to, or I guess grant, not command, but grant Dwayne the ability to do an attack 3 on that cave bear. So that bear might be dead at that point, might not be. And then we're going to do a move backwards, get the heck out of there, probably give ward to Dwayne, potentially give it to Raphael, because Raphael will have to actually stay up towards the door there. Once again, just depends on what the enemies are doing. And then right after Satha goes, we'll be going with Dwayne, who is going to do the top of Mud Eruption and get some attacks off, because what I would really like to do is create, now this could hurt me later, but I'm going to end up trying to, if this cave bear is not dead yet, we'll probably kill that cave bear. And then these two animals, these two monsters, I'm going to do an attack on, and then we will replace them with obstacles, which is going to require this elite cave bear to come all the way around here and walk through that trap. And those are damage and muddle traps. So let's see what we are being blessed with in terms of monster ability cards getting played. Okay, bear's not moving. Living spirit moving and attacking. Not a terrible attack though. Ooh, the drakes. The drakes are going to get us. They are going late, at least. So Satha can get ward off on Raphael. All right, well, Raphael's going to start. We're going to do the bottom of Perverse Edge. Do a move up here. And then we're going to do the top of Mind's Weakness. That's going to give us an experience. And we will do an attack 3. 4 damage to this cave bear. And then that cave bear is going to do an attack 2 on Living Spirit, and it has wound inherently. Attack 2 wound +1, so it's 3 wound, although it's shielding for 3, so the wound is the only thing that really matters there. That will end Raphael's turn. You know, actually, let's get a little bit of a better camera angle here. There we go. All right, let's start with the top of Wolfpack Tactics. This is going to be an attack 2 on Cave Bear 2. Attack 2 +0, it's 2 damage. And then we're going to grant... oh, actually, I should probably grant Raphael this attack, because that's going to make it an attack 4. So yeah, Raphael is going to get this attack 2 turned into attack 4. And it's going to be Raphael's deck. +2, so that's, what, 6 total? Yeah, okay. That's pretty good. Oh, that kills the bear. Very good. Very good. Okay. I don't think that really changes anything, but that's cool. Then we will infuse ice at the end of the round, but for now, Satha is going to move 1, 2, 3. Is anybody doing a group attack of any sort? No, okay. Yeah, and then we're going to get ward on... we're going to consume this ice, we're going to get ward on Raphael, and then we'll reinfuse ice. And that will... then we also need an experience for Satha, and then that ends her turn. Then Dwayne's up. Maybe don't need to use Mud Eruption, but I'm going to still do it anyway. So we're going to get 2 experience. Then we're going to do an attack 3. We're going to infuse Earth. And we are going to do this on Living Spirit 6 and Cave Bear 1. Who do I want to do it on first? What have we drawn recently here? Oh, we're at a fresh deck. I'm feeling Cave Bear first. Attack 3 on the Cave Bear. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to push you over here and create an obstacle there. Boom. Then we will do an attack 3 on that Living Spirit. +0. Great. No damage. I guess I'll put that there and then create another obstacle there. And the only thing I really did was create a pathing problem for that Cave Bear. Hopefully that works out for us. For a movement, do I want to go anywhere? No, because it's not really going to help us. All right, that's going to end Dwayne's turn. That was pretty anticlimactic. Cave Bear goes, not adjacent to any of us, so does nothing. Living Spirit loses a health, and then it is going to do an attack 3 at range 3. Target Raphael. I hope this is a crit, so we get good use out of this ward. -1, that's 2. Yeah, not really the most effective use of ward. Thanks a lot, Living Spirit. That will end your turn. And then come... Yeah, maybe I should have played this whole round differently. Maybe I should have been like playing around trying to... probably should have been going backwards more to draw some of these enemies in. I think we'll be okay, but these are going to be some tough attacks. Let's see. 4 is going to go here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. So it's going to do an attack. Oh my gosh, attack 5 on Raphael. Yeah, Raphael is definitely going to be losing cards here. That's 6 damage. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, I'll lose a card here. Ah, man, I played this terribly. I wasn't thinking about what the monsters are going to be doing as much as I should have been. Shoot. I was just thinking about, oh, my turn's unaffected, but like, is that still the optimal thing to do? All right, whatever, that's okay. We just have 2 more brutal attacks to take. We get muddled as well. Okay. Then it's going to be another attack 5. Oh, sorry, that should have not been this one. That should have been this one, moving up to here. Oh, geez. Then number 4 will go now. Here. And do another attack 5 on Raphael. That's -1, 4 damage. Okay, shoot. I mean, we're probably still going to be losing another card here. Yeah, so then 3 is going to go... What's the range again? 4... Yeah, so we'll have to go like here. Oh, actually, you couldn't... could you hit me? 1, 2, 3, 4... No. Okay, wait a second. Yeah, so this one would have had to go here. Then this one could go 1, 2, 3 here on top of that obstacle. And it's going to do an attack 4 on Raphael. Oh, wait, actually, does it have line of sight there? I mean, the simulator is saying that it does have line of sight there. I guess I can see it, but that is hard to tell. I will trust in the simulator. Okay. Attack 4, muddle. I didn't draw this one, right? No, because I did +1 and -1 before. All right, attack 4, muddle. Fuck yes! Oh my god. Okay. That's super helpful. That's super lucky because that saves me from needing to rest right now with Raphael. Oh my god. Okay. Woo! There, gain muddle. I did gain muddle. Man, this I have not played this well with how much range these spitting drakes have. Okay. Well, that ends their turn. That's going to end the round. Damn, that was a brutal round. Also, that camera is definitely going to be in the way again. Let me adjust it one more time. All right, hopefully that should be good. I'm going to short rest with Satha. She can't really afford a long rest, I don't think. Oh, geez. And I really want to make sure I don't lose Spare Their Spirits. That's, I think, the main card I do not want to lose right now. 3, 2... Oh, wait, should I have one card in my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I also feel like I can't really afford to discard Take Command because I need to be moving. I think I need to move back. I need to start pulling some of these flying enemies in towards us while we just wait for the cave bear to come towards us. 3, 2, 1. Bring them down. Yeah, I can't afford to choose a different card, so I will lose that. I'm going to short rest with Dwayne as well. 3, 2, 1. Massive boulder. I think I think I can lose that at this point. Ooh, I'm going to add another retcon to the list because I think we could have just as easily moved this guy here. I'm going to do that because I think it'll help me out with an attack. Sue me. I'm on +2 difficulty though, so I don't know. Give me a little grace. For round 10, I'm going to just try to start getting these enemies into this other room. I'm in no position to try to rush in at this point. I would still like to try to get that chest, but that is not a priority right now. I think hopefully I'll be able to get down to a point where we only have like one enemy left, and then we can start going for it. But I entered this room doing really well, I think, and I have kind of squandered some of that advantage that I had coming into this room. But that's okay. We'll make it work. Raphael he's not going to do anything. He's going to stay in that one spot, go invisible, and basically just wait for some of those enemies to start coming in. So that way, next round, he can start getting some, hopefully, big attacks off. Then Satha is going to use Spur Their Spirits to allow Dwayne to play the top of Dirt Tornado so that we can just get a nice attack 3 on each of these enemies. And muddle them because we know we're going to be taking a lot of damage from them. We got to start trying to move backwards a little bit here. But after we do that, yeah, we'll move backwards and we will give ward to somebody. We'll probably ward Dwayne since Satha still has it, and Raphael will be invisible. Then lastly, Dwayne's going to go and do some healing and move backwards. I want to start pulling some of these enemies in, and then maybe next round we can actually start getting some kills. And a draw. Okay, of course, when I'm trying to pull them in is when they're not moving and when they're shielding. Come on. Man, this is going to end up wasting this round for me. Alright, at least the living spirit's only going to get one more turn before it dies. And then the cave bear slowly make its way in. Alright. Well, the Drake's shield and then strengthen. The healing doesn't do anything because they're not damaged. And their turn. Raphael's up. I'm not going to change what he's doing. Because if he moves forward, he dies. I'm debating. I could change what I do with Dwayne. I could use his move and jump to destroy the hazardous terrain and traps, I think, right? Destroy all obstacles, hazardous terrain, difficult terrain, and traps and hexes you enter. Yeah, I might end up going in. Gain invisibility for the round. That will end Raphael's turn. I'm still going to use Dirt Tornado, or, well, Satha's up. We're going to do top of Spare Their Spirits. We're going to get 1 health. We're already warded, so that ward doesn't do anything for us. Gain another experience, and we're going to allow Dwayne to play. I'm going to do the top of Dark Tornado, and it's definitely not going to be as effective as we were planning on it, but it at least negates that strengthen for the Spitting Drakes, and then we'll still put Muddle on the Living Spirit. Maybe we'll get some damage off, but might as well take advantage of this Earth element. Yeah. Do that. Gain an experience. Use his attack modifier deck, and this is going to be... these are going to be attack 3s. So let's start with Drake 1. Plus 2. That's 5 damage minus 2 shield, so 3 damage to number 1. That's pretty nice. And then Muddled. Just going clockwise order here. So we'll do attack 3, Muddle on Living Spirit 6. Alright, got the curse out of the way, that's fine. You're still muddled. Then this will be on Drake 3. -1 after the shield, that's no damage, but you're muddled. I'll get that in a second. Then attack 3 on Drake 4. +0, that's just 1 damage. Okay. Kind of would have rather that 1 damage be on Drake 1, so we could maybe kill a Drake next round, but whatever. Okay, now we will do the bottom of Combined Might. And I guess 1, 2, 3, I'll go here. Spend or consume the ice, and we will... actually, I should make sure I don't group them up too much. Alright, we should be going early enough. Next round, that'll be okay. Then we will consume that ice. We did that. Oh, did I get an experience already? No. Get an experience, and we will put ward on Dwayne. That'll end Satha's turn. Then we will do the bottom of... actually, let me start with the top of Rumbling Advance. We're going to heal Satha for 4. Infuse Earth, and then we will use the bottom of Clear the Way, and we're going to use our Weathered Boots, and we will go 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to destroy this trap, destroy this hazardous terrain. It's going to completely negate the thing I just did a couple turns ago with creating obstacles to try to get the bear to come through, but I'm changing my mind. I don't want to just keep playing the waiting game for things to come through. It's not how I like to play. Even though I keep trying to set myself up to doing that and then realizing, nah, I don't want to do that. But that will end Dwayne's turn. Living Spirit is taking their last turn now. Oh, I forgot this is going to be a multi-target deal. It wouldn't really matter with the position anyway for Satha unless I moved her back all the way, which I don't think I want to do. This is going to be an attack 3 at disadvantage, although this is kind of clearing the ward. Nope, too late. Moving forward. Attack 3 at disadvantage on Satha first. -1 or -1. Alright, that is just negating 1 damage. And then this is on Dwayne. +2 or ×2. I did also want to use the healing potion on Dwayne. I did forget to do that. Let me do that now. No, let go of that. Do that. And then... oh, what the heck did I just do? Okay. Alright, well that's going to be 5. Ward is going to have it round down to 2 damage. So not so bad. At least we got a good use out of that ward. Okay, that Living Spirit's going to die on its next turn. Then the Cave Bear goes attack, nothing happens. Move, I think it'll just go here. And then nothing happens. And that'll end the round. Need to shuffle with Raphael. Go short rest. 3, 2, 1. What are we losing? Perverse Edge? Fine. Yep, I'll lose it. All right, I apologize. This is the second video where I've had audio issues, second video in a row, actually. So from now until we get into the action for round 13 is going to be me doing my commentary after the fact. So I'm just kind of dubbing over the recording here. I'm going to keep all the video intact so you can see everything that was happening. But you'll get a little bit of a different perspective of me looking back on this. I'm not going to remember everything that I was talking about at this point. I was recording this video last night, so still pretty recent. Anyway. In this round, I was really trying to figure out how I want to handle all these enemies. We're expecting that the living spirit will die from the wound, but I really wanted to come in and be able to have a combination of Satha and Raphael be able to kill that Drake number 3. And eventually you'll see me switch to the attack for Raphael that would allow him to go invisible if he kills Drake number 3. So ideally, I was like, I want to kill Drake number 3 with Raphael, be able to go invisible with him. Then I want to do a significant amount of damage between the 2 attacks that we're going to get with Dwayne here, using the bottom of Earth and Clod to use that last charge of backup ammunition to get some attack. Since we have a lot of obstacles in the area, we can do a lot of damage with that attack, and then do the top of Crater. Maybe we can kill one of the other Drakes, or maybe we can use Crater to push back an enemy if we think they're going to attack. But generally, my plan for this round, I don't think ended up being that great overall, because I wanted to kill Drake 3, I wanted to do a lot of damage, but I'm not thinking about so much of how do we mitigate all the damage that we're potentially going to take from Drake's number 1 and 4. I have to say, though, the thing that I'm most disappointed about with losing the original audio from this is that, not to spoil too much about the upcoming round, but there are some attack modifier draws that I really wish that you had the audio for. I will, I don't know if I can do it justice with some of the expletives that I was saying during that recording. Some on recording, some off recording. I think you will pick up on what I might have been saying just from what modifiers get drawn. But around this point is when I really start to be questioning with myself of like, what was the strategy that I was even trying to go for with this whole setup in this room? I talk about it more in the wrap up as well, but like this whole obstacle setup we have here and removing that hazardous terrain, like it just did not work out well. And it kind of reminded me of the previous scenario where I set up going into that boss room. I set up some things for enemy pathing and I just did not take advantage of them. And now we're starting to run into that here where these obstacles are actually kind of getting in my way a little bit. All right, here we go, getting into the action. And yeah, the living spirits were going to die. The cave bear was going to do a move and attack. So at this point, I start thinking about, well, that cave bear, unless we do something about it, the cave bear is going to come and attack Dwayne. And Dwayne is going to be taking attacks from the cave bear and both Drakes, which is both elite Drakes, assuming we kill the regular Drake. That's something we have to try to mitigate. So start thinking about how do we prevent that bear from attacking, but I had planned for that a little bit with Raphael's card choice. And I think I'm about to move the camera here, or maybe not just yet. So yeah, we move Satha in with the top of Wolfpack Tactics, or I'm sorry, the bottom of Lead the Charge, and then from there we grant Raphael some movement to be able to get in as well, because I need Raphael to start getting deep into that room and start doing damage. Like if I get him in within melee range, he can start really churning out damage, and that's part of the reason I wanted him to get into this room and doing damage to go invisible. So yeah, we draw this modifier for Satha. We only end up doing 1 damage to that normal Drake. Then we're about to grant Raphael an attack 4, which ends up being a null. And this is one of the first of many expletive moments in this in this round, because I did not do nearly enough damage to that Drake as I wanted to. So I move on, I infuse the ice from Wolfpack Tactics, and then I think we end Satha's turn at this point. That null was frustrating, but it wasn't really the end of the world because we still have plenty of attacks that we can do with Dwayne. So we can mitigate some of that. We can try to mitigate some of that, which I do attempt to do coming up. So yeah, now we enter Dwayne's turn and we start thinking about how do I want to do some of these attacks. Since I didn't do as much damage as I wanted to originally with Satha and Raphael, I now start trying to do, okay, well maybe I'll use one of these bottom Earth and Clod attacks on that normal Drake so I can get a big chunk of damage off on it so that I can make sure that Raphael can kill it and go invisible. So I should be doing that momentarily here. Yeah, using the last charge of backup ammunition and getting that sweet, sweet experience from that. And yeah, I think this first attack was on the normal Drake. Should be coming up any second now. Yep, there we go. Look at that finger point. Solid finger point, 10 out of 10. And we'll draw that modifier any second now. Drum roll. There it is. Another expletive-filled few seconds here. Holy shit, was I upset. I was so pissed. Yeah, that one really hurt. This is where like those massive curses from the living spirits much earlier in the scenario really start to come into play. So we do this other attack on Drake 4 just because I'm trying to get some more damage out on that elite Drake. I'm not expecting to be able to kill it this round, but it's near a bunch of obstacles. I can do some damage to it. I'm not worried about the cave bear just yet. So yeah, do some of that damage to the Drake. And then I think I end up doing the top of Crater here on Drake 3. Just because I need to get some damage off on that Drake to allow Raphael to go invisible. There we go. So we actually get a decent attack off on that Drake, and now we still increase the likelihood that Raphael can still go invisible. So we're still being able to follow our plan, but I could have had, for those nulls, I could have had a lot more damage here. So now we finally get to go with Raphael. I can't remember which card I start off with here. Okay, we do the attack first. Yeah, there we go. Like, it's nice that we got that curse out of the way with the advantage, but then after all that, we still end up getting a huge attack off on the Drake. Yeah, I think I was actually more annoyed at drawing that crit here just because of the bad timing of these crits in this scenario. It just felt like a lot of wasted damage. I wish that was a stat that I could track somewhere that was tracked automatically. It would be like amount of overkill damage, because you want to minimize that as much as possible. I mean, to some degree, you can't plan for when you're going to draw a crit, right? But the more efficient you can be with just barely killing enemies, the better it is because you're not wasting damage. Then we use the bottom of Submissive Affliction to have that bear move a couple of spaces back and do a couple damage to it. And then that ends up wrapping up Raphael's turn. So then we move on to the enemies. Living Spirit's dead. The Cave Bear will end up going shortly here and just moving up, but it won't be able to do any attack. So at least we mitigate the damage from the Cave Bear and prevent it, like just put it off for another round or so. So that was good. That was still effective. But now the Drakes go, and they have Muddle and Strengthen, so they're just going to be attacking neutral now, but they're both going to be going after... Oh no, I think I made a mistake here, because I think I had them both attacking Dwayne. They should have gone after Satha though, because they're equidistant from Dwayne and Satha had higher initiative. So this looks like a mistake on my part. Let's see, am I remembering this correctly? Yeah, okay, yep, that is a mistake. I'm curious how that would have ended up impacting the rest of the scenario. We'll see as time goes on. But hey, it's fun to catch this mistake together as we're going through this. Yeah, do end up losing the card with Dwayne to negate that loss of health. So that way he doesn't get exhausted. And then we move on with I think we end up doing a bunch of short resting here, yeah, because we're down a bunch of cards. Shoot, yeah. I'm not sure why I thought that Satha would not be the focus there for the enemies. Hmm. Yeah, okay, so we do a bunch of short resting here. I think I end up being okay with whatever cards I end up losing. This is actually something that I probably should have been better at. I don't remember if I touched on this in the wrap up though. Discarding Take Command so that I can extend some of my rest cycles. I didn't do a great job of that. There were a lot of times where I was like, oh, I can't discard it right now. I need to keep it out. I can't waste the action economy. But I think I could have really extended her life in this scenario by being better about discarding that and just accepting that I can get it back out later. Round 13 came up, and this round was about trying to kill Drake 4 and prevent one of the other enemies from attacking using the bottom of hostile takeover with Raphael. I wasn't sure if I wanted to use it on the cave bear or the Drake going into this round. It was just whichever monster ends up drawing a better attack here, I'm going to take them over and prevent them from doing that, and then use it against themselves. So it's a nice, like, bottom of hostile takeover is really nice to have for the end of scenarios where, you know, helps you to mitigate damage and do damage at the same time. Love that. Then with Dwayne, I want to use the top of Clear the Way in order to make room for Satha to move in later so that she can help kill that Drake. And then I just talk about where I might be positioning that obstacle. Not really sure where I want to put it, but we'll figure that out during the round. And then Satha is going to come in and do the bottom of Lead the Charge to get close to that Drake 4, and then we do the top of Wolfpack Tactics so that we can get an attack with Satha and an attack with Raphael. Let's see if I make any mistakes in this round, huh? The Cave Bear is doing a big move and a big attack, going earlier than I expect. So I start trying to think about how do I want to handle that. And I think I just accept that Raphael is going to take an attack. I could use Raphael's card to prevent the Cave Bear from doing that attack on us. However, those Drakes doing that group attack with how we are organized right now, that's pretty brutal. So I end up deciding that I want to use the bottom of hostile takeover on, I think I ended up saying Drake number 1. But we start off with that attack from Scurry to move in, do an attack on Drake 4, do a little bit of damage there. And there we go. Now I think I'm just talking about who I wanted to use that bottom of hostile takeover on. And the positive thing, at this point I was kind of thinking that, oh, if I take over the Drake, then I can maybe still get Satha's battle goal, because I'm like, oh, I can get poison and muddle on an enemy. Like, maybe there's a chance that I can do that and then have Satha kill an enemy and get her battle goal. But yeah. Spoiler alert, that didn't really happen. So that should end Raphael's turn here, and then we end up going to the Cave Bear, who will come in and do that attack on Raphael. Yep, so just enough damage that we still need to lose a card with Raphael, and we get a wound with Raphael, so that ends up putting a timer basically on the rest of his life, because I think I had lost most, or maybe not all of my heal cards. I lost a lot of heal cards from Dwayne at this point. So I wasn't really thinking about trying to get that wound off of Raphael anymore, just thinking about how do I hurry up and finish this scenario. With Dwayne, we end up using the top of Clear the Way to move that obstacle over that one space. And then we end up doing a couple of small attacks on Drake's 4 and 1. See, that first attack was against, I forget who it was. Okay, Drake 4. And then we do an attack 2 on Drake 1, and there's another null. What a theme for this scenario is drawing those nulls. And then this was... Oh, right. At this point, I remembered, I even forgot when I was doing the recording here, that Dwayne was muddled, so we had to take those attacks at disadvantage. So we ended up doing no damage to Drake number 4 and just doing a little bit of damage to Drake number 1. Let me just start moving closer to that chest. And then we go with Satha, who ends up using the bottom of... here, at this point, I was retconning to say that I used Stamina Potion for Raphael to get a card back. Yeah, I think I had a plan with that card, but I don't think it was a very good one. It was Submissive Affliction, by the way, in case you didn't see it. So we move in with Satha, and then we do the top of Wolfpack Tactics. We start off with an... we move Dwayne as well so that he can get closer to the chest. Dwayne still had the Loot 1 card in his hand. I forget what the name of the card is. So at that point, I was trying to plan on just looting that chest. And also, I was in my head, I was calculating Dwayne's range incorrectly. But we get an attack 3 with Satha on Spitting Drake 4, and then we grant an attack 4 to Raphael. Drumroll. What does he end up drawing? +2! Nice amount of overkill damage. That one I'm just at least relieved to have killed that Drake, because if we did not kill that Drake, that would have been really, really bad. No, actually I take that back, because Drake 1 would be going first, and I would have had a chance to kill Drake 4 with Drake 1's attack. So at this point, Satha's done. We go with Spitting Drake, and this is the one that Raphael is now controlling. And I end up just accepting I'm going to do this attack at disadvantage because I wanted to keep these two enemies next to each other, because I'm planning on using a lost card from Satha next round that would stun both of these enemies. And this is where I think it could start affecting that mistake that I made last round about Dwayne getting attacked when Satha should have actually been attacked. This is where I think it could have impacted significantly, because I may not have had the stamina, or I may not have been thinking about it the same way in terms of trying to use this lost card, because I may have actually lost that to mitigate damage. So I'm not sure if that mistake would have caused me to lose the scenario, but definitely would have changed the way I would have played. Yeah, here, this is where I start just saying, okay, we're going to use some lost cards. Let's get some experience. Let's also try to set up for getting some loot tokens. I feel okay about being able to win this. There's still a lot of damage that we need to deal to these enemies, but I feel like we're in a pretty good spot. Satha goes in with the top of Implicable Advance, does some attack, stuns, can get some repositioning out of it. Raphael, I think I was just going to end up having... using whatever cards he had left in his hand to get some damage off. And then this is where I was calculating calculating Dwayne's range incorrectly, because I'm thinking that, yeah, sure, I can use the top of Crater and hit that cave bear and push it into that trap, and then I'm for sure going to kill that bear with Dwayne this round. Yeah, the only problem is that it's 4 spaces away and Crater has a range of 3. So I don't think about that until it's I think until I'm on Raphael's turn. This was kind of late in the night for me. So at this point, my brain was a little loopy. I was making some dumb decisions, but I do end up just sticking with that card because I've done enough retconning of small things in this episode where I'm like, we can still make it through with this one. So we go here, set our initiatives because I didn't set those yet, and then Satha starts us off. And yeah, we see that we're getting some attacks off, decide that yes, we absolutely do still want to stun these enemies. We move in, we grab some much needed loot for Satha because I need to buy her boots. I keep forgetting to buy her boots while she's in Gloomhaven, and there have been multiple times where I'm like, boots would be great for her. Boots that were made for walking would be awesome. So she does the top of Implicable Advance. It's attack 2 stun. We get some nice experience with her. Who did I attack first? I don't remember. We're going to find out together. +0 on. Okay, we attack the Drake first. stun, and then we do an attack 3 on the cave bear because it's poisoned. That gets 4 damage. Cool, I calculated that correctly. And then stun that cave bear, and then that should end up ending Satha's turn. Raphael goes, ticking down his timer for when that wound is going to kill him. Yeah, I come back and I remember, oh, I needed to do the jump with implicable advance. So here is where I start trying to think about which enemy do I care about attacking more. Then this is also where I start realizing that, oh, Dwayne can't actually hit that cave bear. I ended up putting Raphael back here, and I think I ended up moving the camera as well. Let's see, am I predicting the future? Are we moving the camera here? Yeah, look at that. I'm so good at predicting the future. Emerging Boat Stradamus. That's what they call me. Who did I end up using Submissive Affliction on? Well, we start with Brain Leech. I think I end up going after the Drake still. Oh yeah, we got the crit. Yeah, so that was a attack 2 on that Drake. We crit, so we get 4 damage off on it, and then we also strengthen Raphael. Then we do the Submissive Affliction. I think we still did this on the Drake. Yeah, so we get some damage off on the Drake. We don't end up killing it. And then that ends Raphael's turn, and Dwayne just ends up... here at this point, I was deciding if I wanted to like forget looting the chest and just going for an attack on the cave bear to move into range. I think I ultimately just ended up looting the chest on this round, though. Yeah, because I'm greedy, you know? Especially when Clarissa's not in the scenario, we need to take a full advantage of like spreading that greed around the party. Everybody gets to be greedy, because when Clarissa's in the scenario, it's just Clarissa who gets to be greedy. We get the Ranger's Hood here, which is pretty much useless for Dwayne, so that is something we will be selling in the next episode, because it's about things you can do with your summons. Can be a cool item, but just not beneficial for Dwayne. Dun, 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 dun. We infuse Earth, because we did still end up doing the bottom of Crushing Grasp. And then we just don't do anything with Crater. And then Cave Bear goes, stunned, that doesn't matter. Drake goes, stunned, so it doesn't matter. And we move on to the next round. Yeah, short rest here with Raphael discarding Mind's Weakness. Just trying to make him last longer in case something goes terribly wrong with these attacks that are coming up. But I'm also kind of thinking like, oh, maybe I can do a wound on somebody and still have... I'm still like grasping at straws on the fact that maybe Satha can get her battle goal. But yeah, kind of a pipe dream. We short rest with Dwayne as well. For Dwayne, I just wanted to get back the card that I could still do that push with, Crater. Because I still want to try to kill that bear by pushing into the trap just because it's guaranteed damage. And that's just going to be an effective way to try to wean down off that 9 health it still has. So then for this round 13, I decide, all right, we're going to have Raphael just do the top of Mind's Weakness on Cave Bear. That way Cave Bear can also do an attack on the Spitting Drake. Let's just try to end things this round. Then we're going to move Raphael into a position where when Satha goes, she can use the top of Spread Their Spirits to allow Raphael to do a card from his hand to loot and get a bunch of loot tokens. And then Satha isn't really planning on doing anything else other than just helping Raphael loot. And then with Dwayne, we want to use the top of Crater to do the attack and push on that Cave Bear. And then this is where the audio from the original video should be picking back up. So thanks for joining me for this commentary with Emerging Boat. And in about 10 seconds, I will leave you so that you can rejoin the original audio. Well, the cave bear's going significantly earlier than expected, but shouldn't really end up being a big deal. So cave bear will start. It's going to do an attack for wound on Raphael. Let's draw a modifier, +0. Okay, we're going to lose a card. We're going to lose Brain Leech for that. Go into our lost pile. And we only have one card in hand, which is the card we're going to lose to do some looting. That ends Cave Bear's turn. Raphael goes. He goes down to 1 health with that wound. Just living on the edge. Then we're going to do the top of Mind's weakness. We're going to get an experience for that. We are going to do an attack 2 on the Cave Bear, which is going to be an attack 3 because of the poison. That is +0. So boom. And then I cannot have you move into that trap, unfortunately, but Dwayne's going to push you into that anyway. Then we will have you go 1, 2 there. And you will end your turn. Oh, I forgot we had advantage. Let's see what the other card was that we could have drawn. A +0. All right, so yep, we end your turn. Next up is Satha, who is going to... Should I position Raphael in any different spot? Actually, I could to get him a little bit more money. Yeah, so we're going to do the bottom of Wolfpack Tactics. I'm not going to move anywhere, but we are going to grant... Oh, actually, it has to be... No, I have to end him closer to a enemy space. Never mind. All right, so we're just going to do top of Spur the Spirits. +1. Ward. Then we allow... we're going to allow... What's his name? Raphael to do the bottom of Scurry. And we're going to do a loot 2. This is going to gain us an experience. And then I'm going to have to count the money tokens here. Let's see. That is 1, 2, 3. That's just 4 money tokens, it looks like. I thought we might get more, but that's okay. Still a lot. Better than nothing. Good way to start to end the scenario. Getting 4 money tokens. And yeah, you should be at 5. Then Satha will do some movement. She's not going to move anywhere. It's not going to help her with anything. So she's going to end her turn. Oh, and I forgot to have... I'm just forgetting everything right now. I forgot to have Raphael do the top of Mind's weakness for the Cave Bear to attack the Drake. Let's check. What do you have? Do you have any curses left? You don't. All right, yeah, so we'll just have you use that deck. So Cave Bear does an attack 2 on the Drake. Okay, it does wound it though. Then Dwayne is now up. Dwayne is going to move 1, 2, and do an attack 3. We're going to consume that earth. And we're going to do an attack 3, range 3, and push 2, gain an experience. Attack 3, Dwayne's deck. That's 4 damage. That's +1 from poison, right? That's 5 damage. Oh, no. No, we're not healing you. 5 damage, and then we're going to deal another 6 damage from pushing you to that trap. That will kill you on this spot. This there. And it's another 6 damage. That'll end Dwayne's turn. We're going to end up having one more round for this. The Drake will go, move backwards 1, do an attack 4, range 3 on Raphael. -2, that is still going to kill or exhaust. I'm sorry, pardon my language. That's still going to exhaust Raphael. You are out of the scenario. then that'll end that round. Boom. Then for the definite final round of the scenario, we're just going to have Dwayne and Satha both long rest. And so that way the Spitting Drake can just exhaust itself, we'll say. And it does just that. It is very tired, very exhausted. Let's go to our scenario conclusion.
The Seer's voice rings like a gong.
Well, I think that is just about enough of that.
The walls reverberate, and the corpses of your enemies evaporate into mist. A great sigh ripples through the temple. The granite floor heaves beneath you as a stale wind rushes past. You realize with a start that the temple isn't the home of the Seer. It is the Seer.
Let's get to it then, shall we?
The voice echoes.
I know why you've come. The land is in peril, forces moving in the shadows and all that. Travelers who approach my sanctum are normally allowed one question, but I like you a lot. And it's been such a long time since I've seen anyone. I'll give you this one for free. You don't even have to ask.
The walls of living stone shift once more. You feel as though you might be swallowed into some sort of mountainous stomach.
The orb you carry, the Eye of the Elements, contains a great power that has only just begun to emerge. It is but one half of a whole, and not until those halves are reunited may your ace the enemy be killed. Yes, the gloom is like your new friend Hail, split across the plains to places I cannot see. But powerful tethers of darkness reach to the gloom from beyond that veil, and the Eye of the Elements is the bridge that connects them. Until you have truly mastered the Eye's power and broken its connection to the gloom, your victory is impossible.
The Seer pauses.
I hope that's helpful, but if you need more, I'm not the only one with these answers. Your Aether friend knows more than she's saying, though I suppose that's true for everybody, isn't it? Others guard knowledge you'll need to reach your goal as well.
The Seer coughs and the room spasms, knocking you off your feet.
Oh, my. Sorry about that.
The Seer apologizes.
It's just been so long since I've spoken this much to anyone. I suppose we'll need to wrap this up soon. So, now I offer your single answer, my intrepid heroes. What do you seek? Great wealth? Great power? Or the thrill of an adventure you may never find without my guidance?
Let's go with wealth. We're going to read section 72.3. New scenario, Lost Island. I remember this scenario. Yes, I do. Okay, let's return back to here. Let's mark this scenario as completed. It is a successful scenario. We actually just beat a scenario on +2 difficulty. That's awesome. And which thing did we do? 72.3 for Lost Island. Okay. Dwayne and Raphael both completed their battle goals. Satha did not complete hers. Let's take a quick look at those scenario statistics. Fairly even spread of damage, but again, Satha's is a little confusing because it kind of includes damage from our characters, from Dwayne and Raphael. Nice, and let's see, 24, 22, and 20 experience. All three of them are leveling up. Raphael also gets an extra perk. That's excellent. Wow, what? We only had, 3, 2, and 4 kills? Satha killed 4, but that's also probably from some of the, what's the name of that? I always forget the name of that card. Spur Their Spirits. What a great card. All right, cool. Let's mark this as done. Finish that. Oh, I think I still need to give Satha another. She experienced a 4th road event. Dwayne. This will be another scenario completed with half HP. Raphael. Actually, what HP did Raphael have? Or did Dwayne have? So hold on, we have a third enhancement for Raphael. Okay, I just double checked. Yes, we were at 4 HP with Dwayne. Okay, let's do a quick debrief on how that scenario went. The first room was a phenomenal start. I felt like I got a really good value out of magma waders. I was really happy with the extra enhancement that I got for Raphael. That really helped me to not only just maximize some of the damage that we were getting out of the magma waders with that hazardous terrain, but it helped me in other parts of the scenario too. So I really liked that enhancement. I'm happy I did that. I think as the scenario went on, this whole situation is kind of similar to what happened in the last scenario, where I started to create this whole little blockade environment where I was like, oh, let me build this, let me set up some pathing that is going to force the monsters to have to come to me in a very specific way. It's going to buy me some time. And I didn't fully buy into it, and I kind of gave up on it really quickly. I don't know if those, what's it called? If the Drakes hadn't shielded in that one round, it must have been around round 7 or something like that. If they hadn't shielded in that round, I'm very curious how differently this scenario would have gone. Would I have been happy that I set up this whole blockade? But at this point, I feel like it was kind of a waste. I didn't really get much value out of placing the hazardous terrain here because I think we only got 3 damage out of it. I think we only hit the normal cave bear once with that hazardous terrain before we just kind of blocked it all off. And it was a little kind of silly to do that considering how many flying enemies we had in this scenario. I think I was really just trying to, I saw how much value I got out of the magma waders in the first room, and I was trying to force that value again in the second room, and it just, I don't know. I was just trying to make magma waders cool again, and couldn't repeat the magic that happened in the first room. I think there were some really bad null pulls there. I mean, nulls always suck to get, but there was one round where we pulled 3 nulls. One of them wasn't impactful because we had advantage, but 2 of them I think were pretty bad and almost prevented us from killing one of the drakes, the normal drake. So that was a little frustrating. But again, this is at +2 difficulty, so that was pretty good. I think we did a good job of getting through that scenario. Could I have done things that were more optimal? Absolutely. I think I would look back at the scenario and be like, oh, there's definitely things I should have done differently. But we still came out victorious. I still felt like I had the ability to spend some turns looting, spend some turns, spend some time getting some experience with some of our characters. Again, we were pretty close to being able to get our other battle goal here with Satha. Didn't quite make it, but that's okay. We got 2 of our 3 battle goals. I think maybe something I would explore doing differently in this scenario is trying to, number one, actually, I'm starting to see more value in that perk for Raphael with, what is it? It's you're always considered to be last in initiative order. So that way, if we're adjacent to an ally, Raphael's not going to get prioritized, even though he has really early initiatives. But one of the things I would consider doing differently, even if we had same party composition and everything, is that once we get into this second room, trying to get into the room a little bit more and maintaining invisibility a bit with Raphael. That's tough to do because he really only has the one card that can consistently get him invisibility, and I say consistently, but it still requires him to kill an enemy for it. If we had both Raphael and Clarissa in this scenario, then I would have felt a lot more comfortable with going into the very back with both of them, trying to kill off some of those drakes early on. Yeah, those drakes are powerful. I always remember that like the rending drakes have really high damage attacks, but I do forget how long of like how extended of a range the spitting drakes have, and they are still very powerful. Anyway, I won't belabor the points there too much. Yeah, I think I did okay. I also think I just kind of was playing pretty late into the night. I'm playing later than I would normally like to. So I got to some points where I was just kind of like, I'm just going to play whatever these cards are. And I still ended up taking longer than I would like to. But that's just how it goes sometimes. I'm going to end the video there. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the next scenario or the next party composition. Maybe we'll do another scenario with two characters. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But until then, thank you for watching. I appreciate your time, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye. Take care.